What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, ever since Avengers Endgame started filming and on set, there have been hints and clues that Robert Downey Jr. himself has shared to social media. The odd picture of him reading, say, Jeremy Renner's book with the Doctor Doom comic in the background, and he's done this more than once, giving us a quick glimpse into the material he may be referencing in an attempt to shape his own Victor Von Doom and from what we know as the classics in the comics. But it's his latest post to social media and the specific comic that he shared that has me really wondering if we didn't crack the code for exactly what's going on with Avengers Secret Wars, and perhaps promises the return of Robert Downey Jr. not only as Victor Von Doom, but as Tony Stark when we get to Avengers Secret Wars. We're breaking it all down, the fact that Robert Downey Jr. may also be returning as Iron Man, and the comic that he just shared that sort of hints at it. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, that's all we do. Thanks to everyone who's been subbing lately, and if you haven't already, I just kindly invite you to do so. It's the #1 thing you can do to support us at the channel. Plus, it'll enter you for the giveaways, and in fact, we'll announce a brand new PS5 winner at the end of this video. Again, all you gotta do, be a sub, leave a comment down below, stick around at the end of the video, we get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so first up, let's be reasonable here. Marvel Studios, the Russos, Robert Downey Jr., they're working with more than 60 years of Doctor Doom comics to weave together this portrayal of Victor Von Doom, and it's always been the case that Marvel Studios has borrowed and changed details to make up their own version of the story. It's never been a one-to-one with the comics. But it's also just as true that the Russos have said that Tony Stark's snap in Avengers Endgame has something to do with all this, and obviously the fact that Victor Von Doom, from we assume the 828, looks like Tony Stark, and from the 616, well, there's something to be figured out there, and there are some amazing theories, we've done some here at the channel, as to how these two are connected. Well, given the recent entrance of Mephisto and the fact that Marvel Studios originally intended that character to be one of the first mentioned in Avengers, and given some of the comments of Mephisto himself at the end of Ironheart, it seems like he's been on the scene for quite some time and may have had something to do with ultimately what we're looking at here, and that's where things get really interesting. Today on his social media, Robert Downey Jr. shared the cover of Iron Man Legacy of Doom, a story that involves Dr. Doom, Tony Stark, and of course none other than Mephisto. So it is not a Reed Richards to try to stretch into this theory. What actually happens in that comic is Tony doesn't have any memory of this at all, and when going to discard an old armor, it actually reveals a memory of another adventure, a second battle against Victor Von Doom, again, that he doesn't remember. At some point in Tony's past, Dr. Doom approached him, demanding his assistance, citing that millions of lives hang in the balance. Not trusting Doom for an instant, he follows him back to Latveria only to find Doom's castle is under siege by rebel forces. Doom intends on releasing a weapon that will destroy everyone, but Iron Man decides to intervene instead. He fights against the rebels, not in defense of Doom, but in order to save them from themselves. Once they are defeated, Doom doesn't need to use his weapon. He then tells Tony that he's reconfigured his time cube so that it'll take them to the realm of Mephisto. He provides remote transmitters which will enable them to return to Earth should the time cube be destroyed. Doom doesn't provide any further information regarding the mission, and Tony grows increasingly frustrated. They both journey to the depths of hell and fight through a throng of damned before reaching Mephisto's office. Mephisto gives Doom a metal shard and he suddenly disappears. Mephisto reveals that he made a bargain with Doom for him to deliver Iron Man into hell. Tony tries to reactivate his remote transmitter, but it doesn't work, and he's stuck in hell. And again, this is the story that Robert Downey Jr. just shared to his Instagram. Now, does that mean that's exactly what's going on in the 616? Maybe not. Could our Tony Stark be in hell? Well, he did die at the end of Avengers Endgame, and this could have been part of the plot by Doom the whole time to get Tony out of the way with Mephisto's help. Again, there's been a lot of dialogue and hints, especially in that little monologue that he had at the end of Ironheart, that maybe suggests that could have been something that went down. And seeing as we know there is a connection between the two, if Tony Stark's snap and ultimate death is connected to our Victor Von Doom, confirmed by the Russos, and that's why he looks like the 616 Tony Stark, maybe the plan all along on the side of Victor Von Doom was to get Tony out of the way so that he could take that mantle and persuade the 616 heroes to fight alongside his side, as per a lot of the plot leaks that says he's going to have followers. Now, the rub here is we don't understand why both Dr. Doom needs the heroes from the 616, or the Fantastic Four need the heroes from the 616. Spoiler warning here for the end of Fantastic Four. If you haven't seen it already, I'm not actually giving anything away, but what I am saying is they didn't do any build-up whatsoever for why in the world the Fantastic Four appear in the 616 at the end of the Thunderbolts. That is not explained. So both Dr. Doom looking like 616 Tony Stark and the Fantastic Four coming to the 616 indicates that the big missing piece of the puzzle is what is so important about the 616. And before you say, oh, well, easy, it's the sacred timeline. Yeah, I know, we obviously get that, but remember, the sacred timeline thing, that got blown up by Loki. He is sitting at the center of the multiverse now with a completely different configuration, as Sylvie said, to give everybody a chance to break the cycle. So where I think maybe we could have pointed to that before and been like, oh, the sacred timeline, it's obviously the most important, maybe there's a couple details we'll get in Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, maybe where there's anchor beams of each part of the lines of the multiverse, there's an anchor beam for the entire multiverse. We have a theory video coming on that, stay tuned, because the comics have basically set this up, and there was a lot in Fantastic Four that indicated that the future of Galactus may play into this, and maybe even beyond Avengers Secret Wars. That said, as soon as Marvel Studios introduced the idea of anchor beams in Wolverine and Deadpool, presumably to basically take the place of how Molecule Man functioned in during the Secret Wars storyline from Jonathan Hickman, just to make it easier, even though plenty of people have theorized that it's Doctor Strange or it's Spider-Man who's the anchor beam in the 616, I think it's always been Tony Stark. Very clearly it's Tony Stark, and while I don't want to stretch, again, Reed Richards pun intended, and say, hey, Tony Stark might have been the anchor beam for the entire multiverse, he's obviously extremely important. As important as the 616 appears to be to both Doom and the Fantastic Four coming from the 828. So, is there a chance that Mephisto is involved with all of this? Yeah, I think so, and we'll continue to do some theory videos on this and try to build that theory out. We've been working on one since the Ironheart video, but, apologize. There's been a little Fantastic Four and Superman action going on this month. In the meantime, is Tony Stark in hell right now while Dr. Doom parades around with his face? That sounds more like a deal that Victor Von Doom would have made with Mephisto, per this storyline, Iron Man Legacy of Doom. But remember, this is an Iron Man story, not a Doctor Doom title. It's an Iron Man title, and I think very clearly when we got reports early on that Robert Downey Jr. was up for a multiple part role, not a dual role, that he could be playing up to 4 parts, the same way that Hugh Jackman did 7-time duty on how many Wolverines he played for Deadpool and Wolverine. I think it's always been the case that the big subversion here is not that Doctor Doom looks like Tony Stark, that we're not expecting Tony Stark to pour out of a portal somewhere because Tony Stark died at the end of Avengers Endgame, and now we have someone who looks like him. But we will be so shocked when he ultimately shows up to reclaim his face and try to defeat Doctor Doom, which is coming at the end of Avengers Secret Wars, I promise you. None of us are expecting it, and that's exactly what they're going to do. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. If you agree with or can get down with any and all of this, or if, like I said, we are definitely pulling a Reed any size you need Richards stretch here, we're going to continue to do that at the channel, as well as involve those Reed Richards puns. I hope you guys have seen Fantastic Four already. It is absolutely amazing. I am backed up on videos right now. I really need to get around to doing a Power Cosmic video and how that relates to Franklin Richards, what that means for Secret Wars, the future of the MCU beyond it. We are going to see Galactus again too. There is so much to talk about right now. Let me know all your thoughts down below. Quickly, let's announce a brand new PS5 winner. All right, the winner of the Fantastic Four PS5 giveaway is Lil Sushi 9663 for this comment here about being excited the same way they were in 2017 for the Infinity War build-up. I feel the exact same way. Thank you so much for your support at the channel and congratulations. Go ahead and DM me on Instagram at IamFires or email me on my business email under the About section of the channel. We'll get you verified. We'll get the PS5 right out to you guys, and it's that simple. For any future giveaways here at the channel, all you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. Find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on all other platforms with original music under the name AllFires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around, we'll be posting again